Yo, what's good? What's good, party people? How y'all this morning? What's good? Man, have been having a lot of long conversations lately. Um, Talked to Kev W last night about the Kevin Knox thing. It's still not over. It's still not over. Danny Landis is in the building. What's good? Excuse me. Jermaine Royster, what's good? Helping America's youth, what's good? Wayne Peterson, what's good? Raphael, what's good, man? I see you. What's good? What's good? Good job last night. So, I want to touch on the Knicks Twitter poll that I left the other day. Right? So the Knicks Twitter poll from the other day, I was ill about the loss to Miami, so I needed some help. Right? And so I asked, who is the loss to Miami on? And the options were RJ Barrett, Tom Thibodeau, the referees, and Julius Randle. And you overwhelmingly voted for the referees. Wow. So just want to get some more participation in that Knicks Twitter poll, right? We want to get some more participation in the Knicks Morning Drive Twitter poll, right? And get a little bit more participation in that. Gonna ask y'all to help us get more drive more participation in that. Illmatics was good. MIG Meg was good. How y'all this morning? So Cynic said the refs did suck. Yes. A guy, a guy played center for the other team, right? A guy played center for the other team. Right. He let me adjust this real quick. A guy played center for the other team, right? He shot 16 free throws, right? I think he went to the line 8 times. And he got 0 fouls called on him. I just can't figure that one out. You can't make this stuff up. Bam Adebayo shot 15 or 16 free throws and had 0 fouls called against him. I mean, you legit can't make this stuff up anymore. Everything in the world goes against the Knicks, man, it seems like. But I don't want to sound like a crybaby. I just want to point that out, you know. Stephen Fox was good. Man, I am asleep a little bit. My energy is up, you know. My energy is up. So, what's on y'all's agenda today? I think I did a thumbnail, but I didn't. I don't know if I posed a question to y'all. But here is something that I would like to pose, and I will, as a matter of fact, I will ask it in the Knicks Morning Drive Twitter poll. What position is of greatest need for the Knicks? Right? What position is of greatest need with the Knicks? Right? Turn that into a poll. I'm gonna add center that can shoot as the number one option. Small forward that can defend and shoot. Okay. How about, okay, 3 that can defend and shoot. Okay. So, all right. How about 3 and the wing? Right? How about point guard as an option? And so center that can shoot, 3 and D wing, point guard, or what would be our fourth option? Y'all help me out here as I get my head together. So center that can shoot, 3 and D wing, point guard. What would be our fourth option? What would we say? Shooting guard. I'm going to throw that out there. And listen, let y'all voices be heard. Get out there and vote on the Knicks Morning Drive Twitter poll. Let's see if we can get 35 votes on this. Let's see if we can get 35 votes. Right? Coaching rotations. Hey, that's a good one, Cynic. That's a good this right here. This right here. We are definitely touching on today. Jay Williams says small forward. Roll Brown says salute to everybody. 0.5, what's good? Let me do this also. Right. We need a stretch 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Cynic says take your pick. Bam. I'd have to say Randall going 4 for 16 was the biggest detriment to the team. But again, the refs killed us. How about Julius Randle getting hacked a lot and the refs not calling anything? How about that? Sin Mears, what's good? Top of the top. Hey, peace, bro. Peace. Peaceful travels, Sin Mears. Peaceful travels. Ilmatics says a scoring center. Wayne Peterson says a small forward. Yeah. Hey, you know what? What else needs to be said? Really? 19 comment NYC 84. Raphael's favorite chatter. What's good? 19 comment NYC 84 is Raphael's is God, the believer of God and of Moses and Elijah's favorite tweeter or chatter. I'm sorry. Raphael says a rebounding center. So in terms of biggest positional need, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. My frustration level is here with the Knicks. I've had it really up to here. Up to here. Because I'm not just frustrated with the rotations or the personnel or the front office or the coaching staff in-game strategy. I am frustrated with inconsistency. Yes, inconsistency frustrates me. And it frustrates most people, right? Inconsistency is very frustrating because you can't trust processes that are inconsistent. You legit can't trust processes that are inconsistent, y'all. Right? You can't trust processes that are inconsistent. And I buckled myself down just now because I was just going to go through a rant about some things that have been inconsistent that frustrated me. And I don't want to take you. Okay, since y'all asked. Since y'all asked, it's story time with Uncle Freezy. Right? So, no, we played Friday, St. Miss. We played Friday. So, I grew up with a pops. My pops loved us, right? But he didn't always have the most consistent attitude, right? Like some days I can sit down with him and watch the Mets games, and other times, you know, he's like, I just need some time for my son, man. Y'all go in and do such and such. And I didn't understand it. So it put me on like pins and needles. Like sometimes, he would be kind of lovey-dovey, and the other day he'd be completely standoffish. Right. So it put me in this situation like, well, what am I gonna get today from this dude? And so he'd be like, certain times he'd be like, Uncle Freezy, why you so standoffish today, man? What's going on? Come in here and watch the game with me. And I'd be like, hey man, but yesterday you were the complete opposite. You were like, Uncle Freezy, get out of my face, basically. To a kid, what I'm saying, you want stuff to be consistent. Like you want a consistent attitude. Like, for instance, if you're a pops, if you're a father or whatever, you want to show consistent love to people around you. You don't want to show inconsistent love to others because people can't trust that, right? You just can't. So as I got older, I grew to be frustrated with it. I was like, I don't want to go through this carousel or this roller coaster, this up and down. Some days you feel good, some days you don't. It's just too much for me, right? Warren Franklin was good. Charlie Ward Cousin was good. Was good. So my pops and I like start forming this like this weird um uncomfortable like relationship, right? Hey, Andrew Cullinger, I'm trying to be like Nelly. I'm trying to be like Nelly. I'm gonna make a song called Country Grammar right after the show. Yeah. So so my pops and I had this uncomfortable relationship because when I was little, I used to like to love to want to be around him because he would talk that talk that I love to hear. Like he'd be like, "Man, Clyde Frazier's the coolest cat in the world. Clyde Frazier, this Dusty Baker, that Cleon Jones, blah blah blah. Tommy Agee, this or that, talking that talk. Like he'd be like, Earl of Pearl, Uncle Freezy, such and such. That cat is cool. Willis Reed, Joe Namath. Joe Namath has the best wardrobe of coats out there in the game. Joe Namath is the coolest cat. You know what I'm saying? And so Jay Williams said, I I saw the Heat try to ISO a guard on Mitch and a big guy. He blocked with the other shots. They didn't even try that again. Wow. Yeah, Ron Swoboda. Yeah. You remember Ron Swoboda in right field, Andrew College? Yeah. I think he was in right field. I forget. I forget. So anyway, my pop's attitude was kind of inconsistent, kind of like up and down. Like you didn't know what to expect, right? So the time comes, I meet this girl who I like, right? I'm young too, man. I might be like 25 or something. And we get together, we start a family, right? And so my baby comes, right? The most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life, like a baby boy, right? The most beautiful thing. Hey, if y'all ever had kids, man, if y'all ever had kids, man, having your baby come, man, it's like the most beautiful thing you ever seen in your life. Because it looks like, to me, every time it was like they didn't look like me. They look like my parents, except shrunken down, like shrunken down mini size. So me and Miss Mocha welcome this beautiful baby boy in the world, right? We welcome this baby boy in the world, and oh my gosh, he's the most beautiful thing you ever seen in your life. At the time, now he a grown man, and now he a grown up. You know what I'm saying? And try to big time you. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, blah blah blah. Pops, I'm a grown man. See, look at my bed, pops. I got a job. But back then, back then, like right now, he's like, man, I'm a grown man. I graduated from college. I got a bed. Look at me. I'm 6'3", pops. I'm a man. Right. Like all that stuff. Like all that stuff makes you a man. But anyway, he's the one. And no lie. He called it when he was in school. When he was at college, he was like, "Yo, I took this class with this kid, Deshaun Watson, pops. This dude is gonna be special. Trust me. This dude is gonna be special." And I'm like, Deshaun Watson, who was that? All these years later, son, I'm gonna tell you, hey, son, you were right. But anyways, getting to my point about inconsistency. So we bring this baby boy in the world, and I love him every day. Like every day, like as soon as my eyes wake up, I can't wait to see him. But he's ours. It's not like I gotta go visit him. He's in the next room in the crib. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff that came with it. Waking me up in the middle of the night because he's hungry. Waking me up in the middle of the night because his pamper is soiled or whatever. All these things as he got older, all these things every day, even up to the time that he got ready to leave and go to college, I would wake up with a smile on my face. Can't wait to see him. He in the house now. He in the house. It's not like he's thousands of miles away. We raised him. He was with us, right? But every day, as soon as I opened my eyes, I couldn't wait to see him. I couldn't wait to lay my eyes on him. I missed him. And all we did was like go to sleep for the night, right? CP the artist was good. Wacko Knicks fanatic was good. So when Rocket is born, right? When Rock is born, the other guy, My pops, the inconsistent one, says, hey, make sure you love that boy with all your heart every day. Right? And so I look at him and I'm like, who are you talking to? He's like, I'm talking to you, Uncle Freezy. Ain't nobody else in here. And I'm like, hey, man, ain't you the dude that used to push me away? Like send me off somewhere? Mr. Inconsistent, Mr. I love you with all my heart today. And then tomorrow, I just can't. Hey, man, I just need some space. Really? I thought father and sons would join at the hip. That's what I thought. That's what all the TV shows said. Every TV show I watched said a father is supposed to quit everything that he's doing and love his son with all his heart. So anyway, he tells me that, like, hey, Uncle Freezy, make sure you love that boy with all your heart. I'm like, hey, man, you don't have to tell me that. This is easy. You don't have to tell me that. So anyway, he has this moment where you can see all the years that he messed something up was coming back to him in real time. Like you could see like a tear want to come out of his eyes. So he spin around and walk out the room. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead, man, walk off. Inconsistent. So I said all of that to say this. Knicks, nobody likes inconsistent. Nobody likes inconsistent, man. Be consistent. Right? Be consistent, man. Nobody likes up and down. Up and down. That's not good for relationships. Up and down. That's not good. Here today, gone tomorrow is not good for relationships. You have to have the same passion, energy, and love all the time. You got to be consistent, right? Right. So when I come on the joint, when I come on the joint, man, and y'all join me in the virtual chat, in the video chat, you know what I consistently do? I consistently show y'all love. You know why? Because nobody likes inconsistent. Right? When you go order your meal from your favorite fast food place, right? When you go order your meal, Cornerstone Cab. What's good?
Good morning, my brother. How you feeling?
Hey, hold on. Let me put some ears on right quick. Let me put some ears on.
Oh, okay.
So Cornerstone, nobody likes inconsistent. When you go to the restaurant and get your favorite meal, you would like for it to be great every time you order it.
Absolutely.
That's the reason why you make the attempt to go get it.
Absolutely.
Because you like it to be done a certain way, and that's why it's your favorite.
Absolutely.
Right? But
Absolutely.
if you go
no
one
one
day, it's good.
Food back. Nobody wants to send food back at all.
Right. And when we get together, when you and I, when you show up in a video chat, when I start the live stream, my expectation of you is to be consistent. Like be yourself, Cornerstone Cav.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
We don't always feel like the best version of ourselves. But you know what though? The fact I appreciate Cornerstone Cav, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For more than the Knicks takes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's cool, it's a plus. But when Cornerstone Kev shows up, I expect the same person all the time. And I know we have our ups and downs or whatever, but for the most part, we try to be consistent.
Exactly.
And that's what I try to bring to the table. But the Knicks, on the other hand, are wildly, grossly inconsistent.
Oh yes.
And it frustrates me. It frustrates me in a way that makes me think like, what am I actually doing this for? Because my relationship with the Knicks is up and down, and I am not the one moving the relationship up and down. I'm consistent. I show them love constantly, right?
Absolutely.
Man, I'm wearing a Knicks shirt right now, right? Look at this. Look at this.
Yes, my brother.
I'm wearing a Knicks shirt right now, right?
Yes, sir.
But the Knicks are not wearing an Uncle Freezy shirt.
Of course not. or a man shirt, or a Knicks fan TV shirt, or
right,
none of that.
Right. But what I asked the Knicks to do
Just be
is
consistent.
just man, listen. Even if you want to go if you want to go on an uptick, right?
Yeah.
Just be consistent on that uptick. Don't say I want to go on an uptick today, and then tomorrow you're like, no, I want to go on a downtick. No. Just be consistent. And it's frustrating for Knicks fans because, and the reason why I got on this be consistent rant, right, is because over the years, we found a lot of different things to blame a bad relationship on, right? We're like, oh man, Carmelo Anthony is getting old and he don't play defense anymore.
Jim Dolan.
Right?
Jim Dolan. Right. Everything's Jim Dolan's fault.
Right. I know James Dolan cuts all the checks and does everything that the fans and the media say, but it's his fault that the Knicks suck.
Yeah. And that goes from the media and it feeds into us.
Right.
Because we'll start believing that narrative.
Right. And so the thing with the media is this. The media thinks they're the puppet master, but actually the fans are Geppetto. Right. The Knicks, the media is Pinocchio, but they don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so the greatest part of that Pinocchio story that people don't realize is Pinocchio thought he was a boy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Did he know he was a puppet? He didn't know. He didn't know. He thought he was a boy. That's the same thing with the media. Like the media thinks they're in control.
And they're not.
Because they're desperate, starving for clicks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. They're going crazy because of the success, even though it's inconsistent, but they're starving for a negative take. They're starving.
Right.
They're starving. Next is starving to say something, on First Take about us negatively.
Right.
Starving.
Right. And so the thing, the inconsistent thing, and I know the virtual chat is like, man, what are you talking about, Uncle Freezy?
You don't understand
about the franchise being inconsistent. My deal is wins and losses are gonna come and go. Every franchise is gonna win and lose. Right?
Yeah.
Every franchise is gonna win and lose. It happens. It's a sport, right?
Right.
But what I want people to realize is we want the effort across the board to be consistent.
Right.
Because players are going to lay their bodies on the line for this sport, and sometimes they're going to win, and sometimes they're going to lose.
You give me effort. The only things that can make us lose is luck and officials.
Right.
In case in point, the officiating this last game,
right,
that was taken out.
Right.
And you can also make the argument that the last game was the one before that was taken out.
Right.
Taken out of our hands. The officiating. So it's luck and officiating.
Right.
As long as you're giving the effort and give yourself a chance to win, that's all we can ask for.
Right.
That's why we weren't mad at those, like those 90 teams.
Right.
Because they gave the effort.
Right. And it was in the 90s team. And when we say 90s team, we need teams. We don't mean just players, right?
No, not
we mean
all.
the organization, everybody from top to bottom was bought into a thing, and it was called winning. Right. And the mistakes they made were not just random, I'm smarter than the average bear mistakes. They made mistakes in an attempt to win.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? And so let me read what Stephen Fox says. So Stephen Fox says, sounds like the scene in Bronx Tale where the mob boss told the kid not to cry about Mickey Mantle. He don't cry about you. Right? Hey, Foxy. Hey, me and Foxy have a synergy. Except he relates everything to the Bronx.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Bronx, New York.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to the Bronx, New York, right? So the thing is, I want to get. You know what, Kev? Oh, I forgot to do this thing, man. I forgot to do this thing. It's one of the fans' favorite thing. Hey, y'all, Check this out.
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal for how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speak in the God.
That gets me fired up every day.
Oh, of course.
Every day I come in here. Every day, every day that I jump on, man, that gets me fired up and excited. You know what I mean? So, hey, Ghetto Intellect, what's good?
So, GI?
Yeah, hey, pseudonym, Sweet Pay. He's been, hey, PS must run on batteries. PS works for Skynet.
Yeah, Skynet.
He works for Skynet.
Terminator in there,
yeah, man.
Yeah, but I had to jump on because I'm going out to Texas this afternoon, and I'll be there until Saturday.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I had to jump.
So is it business or personal?
Yeah, business.
Okay.
Yeah, my job's sitting me out there for pretty much like a day or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I used to live out there.
Oh, yeah.
I used to live in Texas.
What part?
I lived so I was at Fort Hood.
Oh, okay.
Fort Hood, in a small city called Killeen, Texas.
Yeah.
It was about an hour in between Dallas and Austin.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and so let me tell y'all just briefly about Texas. Me like
You like Texas, yeah. I'm going to Dallas. Yeah,
okay.
Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what it is. My first time going there. So flying into Houston and then I have like a 2-hour layover and then going from Houston to Dallas. So.
Okay. Yeah, I actually flew straight into I flew straight into Dallas several times.
Yeah.
Dallas's airport, I forget what they call it, but man,
yeah,
everything is bigger in Texas. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I ate a steak one time that was as big as a clock face in Texas one time. Yeah.
Hey, did it have the price of New York steaks?
Oh my goodness! Hey, I'll tell you. Look who's here!
There's the man, CP the artist. All right,
yeah, man.
All right, man. CP the artist.
Yeah.
I'm listening to some Nelly right now while we're on.
Some Nelly.
yes, y'all. To the beat, y'all.
Well, freezy, either you cut yourself shaving or you got like a bad pimple. What happened?
Both.
Come on, man.
You know how bad pimples are when you run that razor across it.
Yeah,
you just go, yeah. So, so I got this guy. I have this guy that I joke with all the time, right? So he wears shorts regardless what the temperature is like outside, right?
White guy.
Yeah.
Knew it.
And so
I knew it.
Yeah, and so he I joke with him like, dog, it's like 21 degrees outside. He was like, but it's 75 in the truck, Uncle Freezy. So he makes deliveries and stuff, right? He's like, yeah, but it's 75 in the truck, man. And so he was like, Uncle Freezy, you know who you look like? And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So he says, you look like that guy from ESPN.
Oh, Will Pine.
And I'm like, get your ass back in the truck. And so he's like, no, for real. He's like, no, for real. You look like the guy from ESPN.
Yeah.
And people are walking up, they're like, you know what? I can see that. I can see that.
That's too funny.
Yeah, so
That is too funny.
yeah, the dude says I look like Michael Wilpon. And I swear most comps I can get it.
Yeah.
But that one I don't. I just can't for the life of me. But anyway, so CP, I am frustrated at the Knicks inconsistency, right? And so in this case, I'm frustrated that Tom Thibodeau is taking minutes away from the kids to play more veterans. While at the beginning of the season, the Knicks talked about building a culture, you know what I'm saying, by developing the kids and all kind of stuff, and blah blah blah. That's the reason why you saw them not chase after high ticket free agents in the offseason and all kind of stuff. And then the season starts before you get to the game 36, before you get halfway through the season. They cut one kid and Amari Spellman to bring in Taj Gibson, and then they trade another kid to bring in Derrick Rose.
Yep.
So I'm already frustrated.
Well, here's the thing, Freeze. Here's the thing. Tibbs and the organization. Well, I'll just start with Tibbs. Tibbs wants to win now.
Right.
That's basically what that comes down to. Because if this was Atkinson or anybody else, those trades probably wouldn't have happened. Tibbs wants to win now.
I want to win now.
Right. So in other words, I hate to say it this way, but we really can't complain. If we want to win now, then we got to do everything by any means necessary. Now, with that being said,
but wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What are we winning? Is this a championship caliber team?
Maybe not. No. Heck no.
Exactly. There isn't. Wait a second. Here's the thing. This isn't a championship caliber team. Yes, it'll be nice to make the playoffs for the first time in God knows how long. But the thing is that now you devalued every single one of your young pieces. What are you going to get for Frank? What are you going to get for Knox if you're not playing them? Absolutely nothing. You're looking at second round stash picks probably that we're going to get for these guys. Now, how do you move these guys and get the quote unquote assets? You got now I think the hope is that, hey, you know what? All these bums that we have, like Reggie Bullock and Alfred Payton and Austin Puddles. What we got is like we can't do nothing. We can't do nothing with them. We can't do nothing with them.
Right.
Now
I
mean,
that was funny. That was funny. He got that on.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Well, listen. It's like, we're not now we're really in a state of purgatory, because it's like now boom. We have devalued.
I don't think we are.
Just for the sake of these meaningless wins. For the meaningless wins.
Right.
Wait, CP, are you saying that you want us to lose to tank? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay. Because you say meaningless wins. It seems like that's where it's that's where
it's no. It's like the Lakers of 2-3 years ago when they had Lonzo, Kuzma,
Ingram, Randall,
right? They were like, you saw them and like, yeah, they were going to suck, but you saw enough potential that you wanted to trade for them to see what you could have to build for the future. So New Orleans made the trade for AD, and then it worked out, I think, for both teams. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the Knicks are not even doing that. They're not putting their best young and developing them, and even increasing their trade value. I mean, the Lakers, they were playing to win because look, it's LA, and they're no different from New York. They're one of those legacy teams.
And they succeeded.
They were playing to win with the young guys. Then an offer came up after they got LeBron and traded for AD, but they wouldn't be able to do that unless they had the pieces that were like, good enough to trade for. We're not even doing that. We're putting these veterans out there that probably nobody is going to even give like a crackhead for.
Right.
It doesn't make no sense. But I think, and I'm not saying tank. You could play the young guys. And whatever happened to our development?
Right.
What happened to our development? And freezy. This is why a Frank stan like me was a Frank stan. It's because when we got him, we hoped that he would eventually be. And when you get a young guy, your hope is that you have a blank slate and that you're going to develop him into something. I'm not ready to give up on Knox. I'm not ready to give up on Frank. I'm not ready to give up on Mitchell Robinson. You know what I'm saying? At these young, tender ages, who knows what they're going to be at 23, 24.
Right.
You might be looking at, some really, really serviceable players before they hit their prime.
Right. Right. And so
now we're going to get nothing from them.
So my thing is this. So CP, my thing is this. This is my take on the frustration with things that are inconsistent. You can't trust that it's going to be where you thought it was going to be when you expect to see it, right?
I agree.
And nobody likes stuff that's inconsistent, right? I need the thing that I'm liking to be in the place that I expect, right?
Absolutely.
It's kind of like y'all in the Knicks morning drive. If the Knicks morning drive was 7:30 some days, 9:30 other days, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like Tuesday and Thursday one week and Monday and Friday the next week, we wouldn't be able to keep people and bring people in.
Uncle Freeze and CP. Uncle Freeze and CP. Just real quick, you have put it up here, Uncle Freeze from Stephen Fox. Stephen said playing the kids more minutes early in the season is equivalent to tanking. To you guys, what do you say to that?
Well, what I'm saying, I wanted to get to that, but the thing that frustrates me in the inconsistency is this. So who's running the show? Is it the front office or is it Tom Thibodeau?
I think they're working hand in hand. I think they're working hand in hand.
But you can't work hand in hand when one says this is the direction that we're going. We're going to add more kids, right? We're going to add more kids and we're going to develop.
Well, who said that? Who has said that?
The front office. That's clear.
5 years ago, right?
Yeah, that's clear.
Well, no. This is remember. This is a totally different management team than what we've had.
But Kev, listen to me. Kev, listen to what I'm saying.
The only person that's left on there is Perry. Everybody else is new.
Right, but that's not what I'm telling you. Okay. I'm telling you since this front office took over.
Okay.
Since this front office took over. The thing is development. You don't overpay Johnny Bryant bring him in from another team and ask him to develop guys, to not develop guys 30 games.
Right.
30 games.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't go poach the highest paid college assistant in the game from a school like Kentucky to have him work on development with your young guys to then scrap him before 30 games and say we no longer need young guys, we're going vets. That is inconsistent messaging.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The messaging and the imagery that you projected tells us
Freezy.
And so
Freezy, I got it a better analogy. It's like you're peeing on me and you're telling me it's rain.
Right.
That's what the Knicks do every single year. They pee on you and they tell you it's rain.
Right.
And when the higher, and I was always, I think.
Hey, this rain smells funny. This rain smells funny.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. They are killing us. So, but my point is like the Tibbs hire told me this was win now. It told me it was win now because if it was about the youth development, I would have gave the job to Mike Miller and just to see what he was going to do for another year if it was about the youth development. Now, if you want to sprinkle in a little bit of vets to mentor the youth, whatever, now you don't kill their confidence. They killed their confidence. I read yesterday. DSJ, he was smiling all day, and you know what? I was happy for him. You know what I mean? Because I think mentally he was in a bad place that they lost confidence in him, and I believe that as fragile as these kids are, you know what I mean, you could lose a kid. You could really lose a kid, and then you have to start all over in a draft and get more kids and then lose them too. It's like this inconsistent message, this inconsistent eating of our youth.
Yeah.
Instead of developing them into serviceable players for the future, and all of them, you could arguably say they have a skill set. You know, they might not be a star. They might not be, that the star, that they, they could be serviceable players. It could be somebody that's going to give you 12 points a game or something like that.
And here's another thing, CP. You're talking about losing kids. That spotlight is going to get a lot wider now because now towards the end of the month, they're going to start letting fans back in the arenas.
Yeah.
So where before you were not playing, you were playing to empty arenas. Now fans are going to start, coming back. And we know how Knicks fans are at the Garden. If you're not putting in that effort, if you're like getting blown out, fans going to let you know.
Hey, go ahead, CP.
I was going to answer that 5 question. Are we better than last year, and what's the problem? The problem
I saw that.
I don't have a plan for the future. We don't have a what's next year? What's the year after that? Austin Puddles, Reggie Bullock again next year. Is it Alfred Payton again next year? What's the plan? You have to
I don't know.
We let Mitchell Robinson go. Do we? What's going to happen in this? What I mean? It's and to say we're better, still below 500. It's like it kind of fans. It kind of reminds me of like the last presidential election. You had these two candidates. One was a whole doo-doo. The other was half the doo-doo. Still eating doo-doo.
Right.
And this team is still doo-doo.
Right.
It's just a half a plate.
Right.
It's a half plate.
Right. So the ghetto intellect said, I disagree with the panel this morning. Tibbs said from day one, you have to earn minutes. I don't know where the panel heard about development and who they heard it from. All right, so this is a perfect example of the inconsistency, the 3-card Monty. So the ghetto intellect, which is probably one of the sharpest dudes in the chat, right? Says, I disagree with the panel. Tibbs said from day one, you have to earn your minutes. Hey, so ghetto intellect, did Derrick Rose earn minutes?
His body of work. Body of work. I got to agree with GI on this one.
Well, I understand what you're saying. What my man said was, you have to earn minutes, and he put it in caps too, because he wanted us to pay special attention to that. Like you have to earn minutes, right? Did Derrick Rose earn minutes? No. Derrick Rose didn't earn anything. And so people are going to say, well, Derrick Rose played here before and he played under Tibbs. But yeah, that's true. Derrick Rose played for Tibbs in other places. That weird love triangle that we have going on, I just don't have faith in it. I think it has crash and burn written all over it, right? But let me ask this: Did Austin Rivers earn minutes? Austin Rivers was injured from day one of camp, and as soon as he got healthy, he got a bunch of minutes.
Right. And Payton, Alfred Payton.
Is Alfred Payton earning minutes?
He has one. He has one good game. Games. How's it he earned? And here's the thing: I think we have a difference of minutes versus no minutes at all. There's a difference because you have to start thinking towards the future. I can understand if we had a veteran-laden team that was competing for a championship, like the Lakers had.
Right.
They had McGee, they had Caldwell Pope, they had Rondo, and that was enough to win them a championship.
Right.
Are we in a championship? Is this a championship team? Oh, this is a purgatory team. We're one step from being very good, and we're one step from being very bad. And writing is on the wall of now. Okay, if people want us to be patient, we'll be patient. If they got planned for off season, maybe they'll move, contracts or better players or something like that. But the question, the topic is that the youth that you have, are they that much worse than the Reggie Bullocks, the Alfred Paytons?
Right.
We're saying that they reached their ceiling at their young age of 20, 21, 22 years old. Are we saying that or we have gems that we don't want to be 80-20 here.
Right.
You only taking the 20 and you're only taking the 80 and a little 20%. It's like, the worst of the worst. You know what I'm saying? We do have that we could, develop, to give them some. Why is it that Tom Thibodeau doesn't get any for like we're in a 20-point blowout, right? We're losing 20. And he still has a starter in? Still has a starter in? You couldn't throw Frank, time minutes, whatever. No! Up by 20, still has the starters in?
Yep.
They don't make any sense.
And then the other team will come back.
And even time out. Even if people who are disagreeing with our points, why not send them to the G? Rotting on the bench. G. Let them get some burn. Let them get some traction. Let them get some reps. So they could at least increase their value or their development as kids.
Hey, CP, your connection is breaking up really bad, man. Can you tell?
Yeah, unfortunately.
No.
Your connection is breaking up real bad. But so the thing, Kevin, what I'm saying is
I just got back. I didn't hear everything that happened. What were y'all saying?
So what I'm saying is this. Man, stop trying to appease both sides at the same time. Stop trying to be something that you're not. Be one thing and rock. Man, look, be one thing and rock with it, right? G.I., what's good?
What's going on, brother? How you feeling, man?
First of all, to three of the nicest guys I know, man, I absolutely gotta bid you a
you're so sweet.
Jury's still out on CP the artist, but you know what? it's better to be nice. If you have nothing nice, than say nothing at all. And you're on the video panel, so I gotta participate with them. So freezy cuts the check. So
right. I wish. Hey, did I tell you that I bought the King Cobra driver from last year?
I'm so mad because I have an M2.
Oh, the TaylorMade.
Yes, I've been hitting it good. And right before I went to
y'all both, man. When y'all got the time to be golfing, man? What the heck, man?
Listen, you ain't got time for golf, you ain't got time for life. But that's another conversation.
Hey, bro. If you're not playing golf and if you're not playing golf and chess, I don't know what you're doing with yourself.
Oh, chess. Oh, absolutely.
So I bought the M2 and I went to regrip my clubs about 2 weeks ago. I always regrip them in the off season, right? When there's so much snow outside, you start to get. So I said, man, why am I going to regrip a club? I'm going to buy a new one. And I just couldn't bring myself to take it out the bag yet. So at some point, I'm going to get a new driver, but I love it. I'm hitting it so good right now. But I'm going to let y'all finish, y'all. I'm going to let y'all finish because I got to get in on this. Here comes CP2. He got to snap back. I'm a CP the artist. Hold on. He got to snap back. Hold on.
Yeah.
I never thought to play golf.
Me either.
I love it, man.
I play miniature golf.
I love it, man. I love it. And as a matter of fact,
kill somebody with it.
Nah, man. Hey, CP, you still breaking up? Is that us?
Oh man, I'm gone. It's me. Sorry.
He got that. He got that $3 Wi-Fi, but
he has the bodega Wi-Fi. The pun is intended.
So let me jump in. Go ahead. It's too much.
No. What I was gonna say is that I knew what I was saying was going to be controversial, in the fact that the results from one year to another are stark and different. You know what I'm saying? But the thing I don't like in relationships, man, is inconsistency. Like I don't have the patience for it, right? Like the legit, like even with friends, right? I don't ask friends to be perfect. I just ask them to be consistent, man. You know what I'm saying? That like don't be super thug one day and quiet boy the next day, and then super thug the day after, and then quiet boy. Hey, I'm like, yo, I mean, just be. Calm down, man. Be yourself, and that's what the Knicks are. The Knicks are like, yo, we understand that we may not be able to get a superstar. We may not be able to, but what we'll do is try to develop these guys that we have. So not only are we going to go get the guy that turned Donovan Mitchell into a star, but we're going to go get the guy from Kentucky that you know what I'm saying, turn the Kentucky kids into stars at the next level. That way,
you know who gets who gets your way of thinking. I hate to say it, but who gets your way of thinking? The Miami Heat.
Yeah.
The Miami Heat gets they've been consistent even through the LeBron years till now. They've been consistent.
I can name some Miami Heat busted draft picks. In fact, one of them we was like, well, don't draft Frank, draft him, and Justice Winslow, I believe, is out the league.
I think he's out the league. You're absolutely right. Was he Miami?
He was Miami, absolutely.
Yeah.
So for all of the Miami gets it, I can show you some bust too. Let me say this. First of all, about 2 weeks ago, I got my butt kicked on this panel. And I don't know, Freezy, if you participated, but I don't think you shot.
I know I wasn't.
I don't think you shot my back either. But I said,
it's probably me.
I don't think you were here. You just started recently coming, but keep coming, man. We'll get it together. We'll get it going one day. But I said, I'm gonna give the Knicks till the end of February,
right?
March 1st, and by March 1st. If we're 5-6 games under 500 and really out of the playoffs, I think the move is to, sit some of the veterans or shift the minutes and really turn this into a development season. That means you got all of March and a good portion of April to let the young guys play because remember, to me, I hate to say it, but I'm honest, it would be a soft tank because then you could tell me how great this draft class is coming up. And this is when we won a few games. Now we lost a few, even though we look good. We played like we played the other day, even though it wasn't the best. That was Miami. Miami really, Tyler Hero played out of his mind. I didn't get to talk about the game. A couple of Miami guys. Bam Adebayo is just such an up and coming star, and Jimmy Butler on the floor. I mean, they just have so much superior talent to us. So did they play down to our level? Did we play up? I don't know. I'm not an NBA scout. I can't really determine, but so I've already. I'm not saying I disagree with you guys, but the only part I'm saying is it is pretty consistent because Tibbs has said this. He says the guys who got to earn the minutes. And then I heard your response. The Derrick Rose thing I'm going to ignore, Freezy, but you had a legit point with Austin
Rivers.
You had a legit point. And I've always said to folks, if you go out and draft these veterans for 1 year or for light contracts, the purpose for them to come to the Knicks, obviously, is not because they could have tried to go play with LeBron for that amount of money and the team could have fit them in. The purpose for them is to come and try to improve their stock. So, and it almost, I'm sure when you sit down and sign these contracts and recruit them, they're telling you, I want to come and show the world how great a player I am while improving the Knicks in the process. So it's hard to sit veteran players. So he had to at least give Rivers a shot. Rivers has gotten some DMPs now, though. He's got some clear DMP. So he did move his tail to the bench. And it's really a three-headed monster with the three of them, with Burks, Rivers, and Bullock. Bullock has been on fire last 2 games. And if he continues to play like this, Burks and we've gotten 28 to 30 points out of Bullock and Burks the last 2 games against Miami. And maybe the game before that, I think we won. So, I'm just now going to so I see it a little more consistent than you see it. I am going to pivot, though, to expand the conversation and say, well, outside of Frank, who's been hurt on COVID protocol, what other player do you think is not getting a fair shake? And we did, remember, DSJ moved out of here for this is to CP the artist point. DSJ moved out of here for a second-round draft pick and Derrick Rose to a team that really needs point guard play. So not playing does not totally diminish your stop. So let me shut up now.
Right. So I'm gonna just say this real quick because you made a great point, right? But I feel like I'm still right because my point of contention was with the reply that you made initially was Tibbs said you got to earn your minutes, right? Yeah. So if Derrick Rose came in the door playing right away based on what you said about earning minutes, why is Elfrid Payton still the starter then?
Okay, I think this is my opinion. I think we will see a change in the next coming weeks.
But Kev,
we will see a change in the next coming weeks.
But Kev, if no, because Tibbs saying you got to earn your minutes is a declarative statement, right?
Yeah, but if
he didn't say you got to earn your minutes and then we'll transition from why we'll wean you off and move in one. He didn't say that. He was like, you have to earn your minutes.
Right.
And so you're pointing to a transition down the road, but I'm saying that there was a declarative statement made. You got to earn your minutes. Like that means right now, right? So if Derrick Rose came in the door, earning minutes is a better player, then why is Elfrid Payton, the substandard, inconsistent player, still earning minutes?
Well, that was just one game. That was just one game.
No,
wait, but that was just one game.
No.
Go ahead, guys.
No, well, I see Freezy made a statement and he wants to argue it before somebody he heard any other points. Give us a chance, Freezy.
No, go ahead.
So, and I'm gonna be short. So in fairness, that sample size is not big enough to make such definitive statements. We got to give them a couple of practices. I would think that we run, maybe if you've seen one NBA offense as a point guard, you've seen them all, but there's a such thing as chemistry. So you want them to get to feel. You don't want to bring in Derrick Rose and all of a sudden RJ don't know the flow, and all of a sudden and I'm only too concerned about two people in that starting offense.
Oh, of course.
You don't want RJ and Randall to lose his flow, because I think the intention long term for Derrick Rose to be the Derrick Rose of anything that we need, then Randall's got to have the ball a little less. And obviously that's going to be a major adjustment for Randall from the last season and a half. He had the ball all last year. So, I think that's going to take some time. But I don't know what's going to happen to Elf. But I got a feeling that, quickly might slide to 2. Elf will be his point guard.
Right.
And Derrick Rose is going to start, but we got to give it some time. So, let's ask this question next week, Freezy, after 4 or 5 games, and then see. I could give a better answer. But right now, your point is strong because there's just not enough data to.
But I'm not talking about Derrick Rose starting. That's what I was trying to clarify. Right? There was another point guard on the roster before D Rose got here, and Elfrid Payton was inconsistent before D Rose got here. That's the reason why D Rose is here in the first place, because Elfrid Payton was inconsistent, right? And Emmanuel Quickley is inconsistent, right? But why? How do we say? Tibbs said you have to earn your minutes in order to play, right? And Elfrid Payton is inconsistent, and we didn't even see him tinker with another starting point guard. We didn't even see him say, well, I'm going to give Frank another shot. I'm going to give DSJ another shot. I'm going to try to give Emmanuel Quickley a shot at starting and see how that affects Elf. None of that was even considered.
Okay, couple things with that.
That was. So I know Frank is hurt, right? But what I'm saying is,
so Frank is hurt, because I would have agreed with you. But go ahead.
Yeah. So Frank. But my point is if you say that Elfrid Payton is a substandard point guard and is inconsistent, right? How is he earning minutes over guys? And we never saw those other guys even get a shot to start, to at least have a base for debate, right?
I got no words. I mean, all I can say is that Rose is here now, and it won't be too long before Rose, comes into that starting lineup. That's all I can say.
If Frank wasn't hurt, I would have absolutely stood strong with the freezy point. I just don't think DSJ has the basketball IQ to play within Rose's system.
Yep.
So the only discussion that I'm saying, okay, Freezy has a point here, is why didn't Quickley start? But even if Quickley started, you're giving Rose minutes. I mean, you're giving
Elfrid Payton.
To the goal. Only thing Tom Tibbs wants to do, the only thing he cares about, he is ultra competitive. And if he leaves with a loss, he doesn't want to leave with a loss saying, well, Quickley looks like a good point guard, but we still lost the game. So he's going to construct the game in the way that he thinks we can win games. And right now, it's hard to go against him, because even the games we've lost, we've been in a play here or there. He can't put the ball in for God. Now, did he run good plays at the end of games? I don't know if he ran a good play at the end of the Miami game. I don't. Right. I don't believe that giving Randall the ball at the top of the key, knowing he's going to draw Bam Adebayo as the premier defender in that setup, I don't know if that's a smart play, because where was the part B of if that breaks down, what was Randall told to do? There was really nobody for him to pass to. There was no motion going on, no cutting. So that Tibbs could take some. But as far as this roster and saying give people a shot, I just don't think it's void of talent. Frank really hurt my feelings this year, just being hurt. He really did hurt my feelings being hurt this year, because I would have put up an argument based upon what we saw in preseason for Frank to get some work.
Right. And so since Elfrid Payton, you have to earn your minutes, right? So Elfrid Payton not being in a game is an indictment on what we just said. Because if Elfrid Payton had that much trust, how come he wasn't available in the clutch? Right? So what I'm saying is we keep saying that, I'm saying Tibbs said you have to earn these minutes in order to play. And the argument is pointing at Elfrid Payton not being that guy yet.
Absolutely.
He is still getting all these minutes and is the starter.
Yeah, but he's the starter, but he's been playing less minutes.
He's been
about
playing
5 or 6 games in a row, then quickly. He's played less minutes.
But I'll say one thing.
We just said you have to earn your minutes. Quickly has eaten all the way into Elf's minutes. But and again, I'm not a basketball connoisseur when it comes to who should be playing with who if you're running what setup. But Quickly has played more minutes than Elf many times, which means that Elf hasn't earned his minutes. And guess what? Elf has started playing much better. Look at Elf's averages the last 6 or 7 games once Elf started playing less minutes, and you'll see a more efficient Elf. Listen, you ain't fixing that jump shot.
No,
you ain't never fixing
not. Yeah.
Can everybody hear me? Well,
sir.
Yeah, you good. You super great.
All right, cool.
Hey, I'm gonna bounce off and get some water. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right.
All right. You make good points, Ghetto. I think the thing what Elfrid was doing was finally feeling the heat, the competition kind of. Am I freezing?
No, you're good.
No, you're
no, on my screen, I'm kind of.
You're more clear than what we've seen. Than what we've seen today. You're good.
Okay, and pause. You look good, brother. Pause.
Yeah, I can see the shine. I can see the shine. Hey, CP, you inspired me, man. Well, I had to shave all this off and everything. Use the the big face and everything. So
yeah, that's good, man. Come home. That's exactly, right, man. Come home.
Exactly.
Listen, Alfred isn't playing well because of the competition. He's been seeing his minutes shared with Emmanuel Quickly, and Emmanuel Quickly was closing games over Payton, and that was his heat. And I think that Alfred, he plays when he wants to play. He's engaged more. He's ready to lead when he's more under pressure. But getting back to the point that Freezy was making, like players like Bullock have been tremendously inconsistent.
Right.
So it's like if Bullock is being inconsistent and Knox is supposedly part of your future, you kind of have to live or die with Knox inconsistency over Bullock's inconsistency, because Bullock is not part of the future. So it's like, it's as they say, half a dozen in one, whatever that saying is.
6 in the hand, half a dozen in the other.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here's the problem. If you look at Bullock's defensively, he ranks in the NBA.
Yes.
Absolutely. When you talk about the pick and roll, nobody gets over top of the pick and roll like he does. He could guard multiple positions, which Knox can't do. So he could guard multiple positions, which Knox can't do. So
sounds like somebody familiar from France that's on our team.
Oh, and let me tell you something. I have Frank. If there was a healthy Frank Ntilikina sitting on the bench from day one, I would have been talking about it. People would have thought I was a Franker, because on the low, I said, all Frank got to do is just hit his open shot, and there's not a coach in the world that can argue not playing him. But I've watched games for the last 3 years where teams would play, especially when Melo was on the floor, where teams would play 5-on-4 and say, lead that Frank guy. You better not close out on him, Don't go nowhere near him. Wait for him to make his mistake. And we all play street ball. You know, you from the Am Boys, man. You know the deal, man. We've all played some rough street ball where they say that guy can't shoot, but this guy's gonna
Leave him
destroy
open.
you.
Yeah.
You better stop going to him. Come double team here. You better stop going at that guy. He couldn't hit an open jump shot if his life depended on it. And you adjust. So I said, man, Frank, you can't be for all your plus on defense, you're a liability on on offense. And you don't find too many players in the NBA who are a liability on offense. But this year,
you do. And one of them was a key component last year in the OKC playoffs. And Lou Jorts, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. That rookie, Lou Jorts. Someone help me out in the chat. I can't. He has like a particular last name and first name. The dude, same exact shooting percentage. He was like 29% from three, 29% from threes, but he played hella defense on James Harden, and they gave him the shot, and his shot was ugly. I mean,
that's a little different. I guess if we get to the playoffs, you have to run that risk, especially if you got a CP3 who can make up for you. So CP3,
Lou Joyce, there you go. Yeah,
so CP3 can make up for it. But go
ahead. But this guy, his main we call it a job was to play defense, and he played defense at a high level. And he was last year he only averaged 8 points a game. This year he bumped it up to 11 points per game. But this is the type of player, that glue guy. You know, Frank.
By the way,
bad.
Frank has never averaged double figures in his life, so he's
absolutely not. And I don't want to make this a Frank conversation, but the thing is like he has never, due to lack of playing time, and he's always hurt. But the thing is that on the team, you do need guys that are glue guys. Not everybody is going to lock down their defender and be able to score 20 points per game. You know what I mean? So you need that one guy that's going to do the dirty work for you, and maybe not stop anybody, but to at least slow them down. You know, and Frank's. I remember there was a stat a couple of years ago where opponents would score less when Frank was on the court compared to when he was off the court, and because his defense is not only individual, it's also teams. He plays like a center. He sits there and he orchestrates people from at the top of the key. Watch out for this guy. Move over this way, so forth and so on. And people don't value that because that's something that you don't put a stat on, but that helps team defense, and it helps contribute to winning. I remember going to a game here in Atlanta with the Knicks, and Frank came off the bench, and it was like a totally different defensive team. It was like a totally defensive team. And I want to credit also Damian Dotson, because he was a talker on the court. Are we there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
So no one can argue Frank's defense and the impact. Here is the problem, though, when you compared the gentleman you compared out of OKC to Frank. Number one, I do have a point of contention when you said Frank didn't get the minutes. Frank used to start for the New York Knicks, and the starting point guard for the New York Knicks is like another team I love, the Dallas Cowboys. It's like being the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. The starting point guard for the New York Knicks is going to be a known commodity in a lot of households. So if Frank was anywhere else, people wouldn't know him the way they know him. But you also can't hide your deficiencies on offense when it's your responsibility to set and run the offense. Frank would bring the ball across the court. First of all, they saw that his handle was limited, his speed was limited. Right. And in the era of the 24-second shot clock, it was very often Frank was not getting picked up and harassed full court. And he would bust his tail to get the ball across full court, across half court, across the 8-second timeline. And I'm telling you, within the next 2 seconds, Frank was picking up his dribble.
Right.
That would then change. You talk about wanting to guard the man.
Yes.
The easiest way to guard a man in the NBA.
He picks up his dribble. Yeah.
So
I agree.
So it became an issue for everybody around him. Not only was his so you can be a great defensive player and get minutes if you got other great offensive players around you and you're not stopping the floor of the offense. Frank would literally stop the floor of the offense. If he was a 3 or a 4 defending the way he defend with the stats that he has, you would never not play him. In fact, he'd be Reggie Bullock. I mean, that's the reason Bullock's minutes, whether he can score or not.
And that's why I do agree with Frank antagonists say that he's not a true point guard. I'm not going to deny that, but he is a basketball player that could guard 3 positions on the court and be effective. So yeah, you're right. His dribble has been bad. His shooting has been bad.
Yeah, the one thing that really gets under my skin is when people call him trash or bash him. That's the reason why I come to his defense, because I don't see that. I see a guy who's trying to find his way in the NBA, doing whichever coach, whether it was Fizdale, whether it was Hornacek, Mike Miller, and now Tibbs, doing whatever they ask him to do. That's got to go a long way. And
Kev, I got another point for you to help you out. Is that how is it that on the Knicks he's trash, but when he played for France, he beat the U.S. by himself
handily.
Handily. And now I'm gonna watch most of his games, and he had the next game he didn't do great, and then there was another game he didn't, but then he blossomed and he took that starting job.
Right.
Because somebody was starting over him for France, and then he played his way into, and the thing was too, they designed the offense to help Frank.
Right. And who do we hear say that he stole a couple of France's plays to help him?
Fizdale. David Fizdale. And he didn't even freaking use it. And here's the thing, right? Like, if you're gonna say Frank is trash, right? Who was his coaches, and where are all his coaches right now?
Right.
And let's think about the offense that he was given. Frank was given Jeff Hornacek. He was given Fizdale, and I think he played very well. He played very well underneath. He played very well.
Yeah.
Our 3 young players that this conversation has to be about this morning is Knox, DSJ, and Frank Ntilikina. That's the only 3 players we could be talking about, because all the other young players get minutes, and you see Obi. Even if you threw minutes at him right now, it wouldn't benefit him unless he's on the floor with Derrick Rose. And let's see what happens.
Yeah, Derrick Rose. What I liked about that, it's funny you said that, because you immediately saw when Derrick Rose got in how he got him involved, in the game. I saw more activity from him, from Obi, with Derrick Rose than I saw anybody else, playing with him.
So we haven't given that an opportunity. If in a week's time we're saying, "Oh my goodness, Derrick Rose, the unlocked Obi Toppin," this conversation it ceased. We can't. This whole conversation we're having now. But the one player of the three, if and when they leave the team, I'm most scared of is Frank Ntilikina.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So
Exactly.
So I'm agreeing. The problem is Frank has been hurt all season, and CP is not available now. He's in COVID protocol now.
Yeah.
So
I think the ship has sailed. Like, as a Frank lover, I'm waiting for him to get traded. I want
I'm with
the
you
best
too.
for him
Yeah.
somewhere else, like whatever. But let's put Obi into this conversation, because here's my concern for Obi. He was a player of the year last year.
Right.
Top 10 pick. We thought we was going to see Amari Stoudemire.
Right. And we're not getting it.
Are they? This is probably the best defense to this today's topic. You have Randall playing 37 minutes a game or so, right? Almost 40. And you have this athletic young kid, eighth pick, player of the year last year.
Hey, CP,
doing nothing.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. This guy in the chat, Frank is this guy Warren Franklin. Frank is trash. He's been in the league 4 years, didn't improve his game. He's got to go. First of all, Warren, you haven't been watching, because he has improved his game, and he improved his game towards the end of last year till it was cut off. So for you to keep saying that, a lot of these guys really got to look in the mirror at themselves before they start calling people trash and garbage and all like that.
I wouldn't pay attention, man. I wouldn't pay attention because look, we are in Nick universe, and in the Nick universe, you no player is immune to criticism. I mean, come on, we have a movement to trade Randall. We have a movement. I'm not saying me, but there's other people. There's a movement to trade RJ.
Of course,
we are not like for you to defend any Knicks player. It's a waste. It's a waste. I remember being Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing was probably maybe somebody has to help me out. I don't know a New York player that had that much pressure on him to win than Patrick Ewing. Can anybody think of anybody?
Nobody.
In New York history?
No.
Yeah,
Carmelo,
and he couldn't do it.
Carmelo had a lot of weight on him to win. He really did, because of all what we gave up. But Ewing, you know what? I have to put Carmelo up there with Ewing in my era.
Yeah, but don't you think that the front office had more pressure at the time of Carmelo, because we all knew that Carmelo had no help except for that 1 year where they went 55 games. Then they tried to implement the triangle, and they gave him players off the street. I think the Knicks called me one time to play point guard.
It was the same front office
because I ran the triangle in the box offense back in 1992 varsity Perth Amboy High School. Actually, I was in JV.
You missed your true calling, man. You should have been a comedian, man.
I know, he's funny, and it's that dry, it's that dry humor too. CP, it's the same front office that said we're going to make this trade and we're going to win. So they had to. When you make a moves like that, that's why this front office is in great position, because they haven't made any great moves. There's not a lot of pressure on them. They're really playing with the contracts. and the picks that they inherited. That's why CP, I tell you, Phil Jackson made the job easier going forward by not doing anything crazy, because there was 2 presidents after them that walked in with little or no pressure. The only pressure for those guys were to sign free agents, and they couldn't get it done. And I don't know, and I think what Leon Rose and Tibbs and Worldwide West is trying to do now is develop a place where free agents want to come. And in order to do that, you got to show that you're willing to play vets and get vets and make them, look good in the system.
Yeah.
So in that regard, this place has become a much better place for free agents than last year with almost the exact same players.
Exactly. Hey guys, I gotta go. I gotta get ready. My lift will be coming like another hour or so I gotta head to the airport and everything. But I'll be looking at y'all tomorrow, and I'll get back with y'all Monday.
Safe travels, Kev.
Okay, my brother.
Yeah,
all right. Thanks a lot,
man.
CP. Take care, guys.
All right, brother.
All right.
Kev.
Yo.
Kev. I had something I wanted to show you.
What you got to show me?
Can you see this? Can you see it?
No, I can't.
Can you see this?
Oh, you got a guitar. All right.
Can you see this? Should I play you something? Can you hear me?
Play me something. Show me.
Oh man, you be ready to go.
Yeah, I know. Hey, let me see it. Let me see it.
Nah, you ready to go. Hey, when are you coming back in town?
I'm gonna be back Saturday. I'm coming back Saturday.
Yeah, let's do it Saturday.
Okay, cool. All right, my brothers. Take care. All right.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.
Come on, man. Play something, man. Like, what you got, Garth Brooks?
No.
Oh, God.
I don't play no Garth Brooks.
What the guitar is for? Reggae?
Huh? No.
Who's
reggae?
my frat brother? Oh my goodness, who's my frat brother from the Bootsy? Come on, Bootsy.
Oh man, come on, man. Come on, y'all. Come on, party people. I heard y'all conversation. I just wanted to show Kev something, man. And her name is Jolene. and the guitarist's name is Jolene.
You are definitely a blues player.
So
you name your guitar Jolene.
Yeah.
That first drum sound like he might have had something, but we'll see. I guess we'll see.
It ain't nothing to it. It ain't nothing to it, man. It's
oh yeah, he got something. When you see a black man start saying, yeah, it's a little something.
A little something.
You know how it is, CP.
Are you in Dolan's band?
No, he won't let me get shine. He won't let me get shine. Yeah. Hey, Stephen Fox hit it right on the head. Do you remember that song, Jolene? Stephen Fox knows the name of the song. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
By the way, Primo, you need to have before I put any money down, you need to have your handicap in the USGA system. So get your handicap updated. I'm a 9.5 right now. COVID really helped me out. I was stuck at 12 for a while. I'm a 9.5, and we're not playing from the whites. We're not. We have to play from 6,300 or between 6,300 to 6,600. 66 is, I'm 50 now, man. I'm not young like I used to be, but we got to play from 63 to 6,600. And so that won't be the whites. That's the whites on some courses, depending on how long it is. But we're definitely playing from 63 to 6,600. And I need your official PGA card to figure out how many strokes. I've been hustled a lot of time on the golf course. I've been playing
a lot of times.
I've been playing close to 30 years. So
right, wow. A lot of and you know what? And the thing is when I first started, I was like, I don't need lessons. I'm an athlete, bruh. Go get them lessons. Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your time and your money.
I absolutely hate golf.
Bro, I'm telling you, athletes play golf for a reason. Like, they legit leave practice and go play golf for a reason.
And the biggest metro area in the United States that's playing golf is Atlanta, Georgia. Next week I can't go. I'm starting a new position. But next week there's going to be 65 golfers headed to Tampa, Florida for a tournament. 25 come from St. Louis, 15 come from northern New Jersey, and the rest come from Atlanta, Georgia. And they know each other. They play 3 times a week now. We play up to about between 40 to 45 degrees if there's no wind. And these guys in Atlanta got the weather. They're playing all year round. So
oh yeah, because the coldest it's going to get outside for us is about 50.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it's like 67 today.
Yeah,
It was 71 yesterday. And yeah, I know golf is important because they say that's where you make business deals.
right.
Make
It's
those
how
business
you
deals.
how you meet people. The
Yeah.
conversations.
Yep.
the past 3 bosses I've had all play golf.
Yep.
And they were more avid golfers than I was. I played more golf through the job than I play on my own.
Yep.
It's something about me trying to hit that ball. I think it's my scoliosis that turns it left, or I just can't align the earth, the wind.
It's important. The
Yeah.
alignment is the toughest part of the game.
Yes.
Mhm.
Hey, CP,
Yeah.
it's those cheap clubs you're using. Go buy some real clubs.
Get fitted.
I mean,
I'm joking, of course.
wait a minute. I pay $100 at Top Golf. What? How is it?
That's cheap.
Like
That's
my
2
golf
hours.
clubs that I rent for that hour are cheap.
Top Golf is the biggest scam in America. The problem is my kids love it.
Right.
And so my kids are golfers, but I can't get them to practice chipping and putting. So they every 3 times they practice, they get a 2-hour trip to Top Golf.
Okay,
Man,
let me ask y'all this. When was the last time y'all had a competitive game of basketball? I know we old heads, so I need to know this answer.
so we used to play 2016, 17. We played the young guys versus the old guys and down in the hole in Newark, New Jersey.
Ooh.
And I got to the game late, and they put me right in the game because I'm fast. That's one thing. I'm an All-American track and field. So they got these young guards who were embarrassing the old guys. So as soon as I get to the game late, I get thrown in the game. So I'm playing decent defense laterally, but I get a chance to push the ball out on the break. So now I want to put the back on them. And I just turned around and said, "Who kicked me? Well, who kicked me? I mean, y'all down here kicking?"
Oh.
They said, "What are you talking about, Brad?" I said, "Somebody kicked me in the bottom of my leg, man. What the heck? I feel like I
Oh
can't move."
man.
And they said, "Brad, nobody was even near you. Probably an Achilles." I got lucky I didn't tear it, but even just straining it all the way took 6 months to heal.
Yeah.
And the doctor said, "You'd been better off." Doctor said, "I can't go in there and do nothing." And that's when I realized, and I had to play golf. And because I didn't tear it, I could still play golf, and I had tournaments. And I was playing golf on one leg. And that's when I realized in 2016, I was never going to do anything that got in the way of my golf, because I could play golf until God gives me breath in life. But basketball was absolutely over for me at that time. I go out shooting with the guys from time to time, but that Achilles, man, once you get older, it just doesn't. It doesn't play with you. It doesn't play with you. I got these rollers now where if I ever want to go mess with the kids a little bit, I'll get there 10 minutes early and I'll roll, but I will not go from 0 to 100. My body is just, my mind is like, you better not.
Right.
You better not. And
I strained my Achilles 7 years ago. It was like the most painful thing, and I was still trying to play on it because I was that competitive. Last time I played, it was like a game of like 21, whatever. I was busting ass, for a good 5 minutes, and then I lost every. I feel like I had Corona before Corona. I lost every ounce of wind in my body that left. It was just really. I just couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. Like I went hard, and that was it. Because your body and your mind are telling you that two different things. Your mind is telling you, yeah, you can still do this. but your body's like, nah, you really can't. But I miss the game. I miss the competitiveness. I miss um, Saturday mornings being at the Y. I played at the YMCA in Newark. I forgot what street it was. It was
Lions
off of.
Avenue.
That was it.
Yep.
It was our first and last game playing there because my boy had his car stolen. I got home. Uh, my ex-wife was like, "Yo, your boy, called like 7 times. You need to call him." So I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" He was like, "Yo, when you left the gym, did you see my car?" And I said, "I think
Wow.
so."
Right.
I had 7 cars stolen in North New Jersey. My blessing is I got them all back because my car got stolen by joyriders only. But yeah, I had 7 cars stolen from the time I was 17 to
Yeah,
about
yeah,
31 years
yeah,
old before
yeah,
my
yeah.
wife was like, "Let's get out of here."
He got his back like a week later at the Pound in Jersey City,
Yeah.
and I had to help him. I had to drop him off, and I just wanted to see
Shout
the.
out, shout out to Jersey City, by the way. Jersey City puts out the
Chill
best human
town,
beings.
chill town.
Shout out to Jersey City, New Jersey, by the way.
Oh
Home
yeah,
of
you're from
Uncle
there.
Freezy, Heather B, Joe Buttons, and others.
Communipaw.
Yeah, man. The Chinese place on Communipaw. You know what I'm saying? Best place. Listen, man, Jersey City is the best. But yo, so CP, the thing with golf, man, is this. You get that athletic, you still get that athletic adrenaline going,
Hmm.
except there's no whistle, there's no time clock. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's throwing flags on the play. There's no referees, none of that. I mean, it's just you get that same kick. You know what I'm saying? Well, like say for instance, if Ghetto Intellect is on the tee, Ghetto Intellect is teeing off first tee shot of the day.
I would
It's
like
like
to tee off on Ghetto Intellect sometimes, man. You know what I mean? Can we sword fight with the
no,
clubs?
Pause,
You know what
pause,
I'm saying?
pause, pause.
no, man.
I didn't know
Those,
that was a pause worthy.
no, the clubs are so expensive, man.
Oh
So
man, we can reinvent the game, man. You know what I mean? Like we did basketball, we reinvented it. You know what
yeah, man.
I'm
Yeah, man.
saying?
And my son was like, my son said one time, he's like, Pops, man, I want to take your club to the driving range. I was like, yeah, man, you ain't, you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because look, and I know people in chat are like, why are we not talking about Knicks? But just be patient with me. So I don't go into a place and say, I need to have all one brand, right? I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna be all Mizuno, right? All my stuff is like it's gotta feel right. You know what I'm saying? I gotta feel, so for instance, I like tailor-made woods, right? I like tailor-made woods, right? And so, but they're hard for me to get the one that I like. So I go get it custom fit. You know what I'm saying? I get the right grips, the right length. So I'm a tall guy, right? I'm a tall guy. So my stance at the ball is a little bit different from the average size guy. The average size guy can go in and Dick's Sporting Goods and find his clubs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? With me, I got to go to the outfitter and get certain things because when you lay your club down on the ground, when you put your club on the ground, like the club face is gonna face a different way based on your height and stuff. Like sometimes for normal guys, they get their thing, put it down, and it's just a lot of stuff. So with me, a 3 wood for a normal guy, 3 wood it probably be in a range of about $200 to $300. Maybe after it's been on the market for a while, it might get down to about 160 to like two something. But for
Is
me,
it fair to say? Is it fair to say that if you're over 6'5", you are handicapped?
when it comes to golf, I'm gonna
Hey,
say,
I mean everything in life, we're handicapped.
dog, my knees are hurting right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
people.
the golf course adjusts in length. So that's the part that you just can't develop the torque to hit the ball as far. So the golf course has different sets of tees depending on your level of play. Right. But let me tell you something. The older guys, you get around the green, and they've been playing a long time, they will make you look silly.
They're gonna cut your rump.
The way they putt from any distance, the way because it doesn't. You don't need to be strong to putt or chip the ball. Right. And you get out there with an old head and you start knocking the ball past them. Don't get cocky because the golf game is not from. So let's say a hole is 300 yards. From 0 to 200 yards is not the most important part of the game. No. The golf game starts to get played from 100 yards in. I mean, you look like you could take the ball and throw it next to the hole with no problem, especially if you got a decent arm, decent accuracy. But trying to control that club from 100 yards in is the toughest part of the game.
Right. Hey, so Primo told me to shut up about golf and talk Knicks. But I just wanted to say this real quick. Man, the old heads, like there was a time back in the day when Nike was doing equipment. I was like, yo, I got to have everything Nike driver all the way down to the Air Max golf.
I got the woods, y'all.
right. And them dudes, them old timers would come out there with them old Wilson clubs and tear out behind. You let them get about like 100 yards in. Hey man, effortless. And so hey, so Lead to the Knicks podcast basically says, hey, shut up about golf and talk Knicks. Is that what he said? No, he said no, talk. Okay, so he was joking. But yeah, man. So the golf experience thing is real, man. I love it. I would advise those, don't spend money on equipment. Spend money on lessons. And then that way you can see if you like it or not. And then if you don't like it, you don't have a whole bunch of stuff around your house, right? And then plus you learn how to play the game from a golfer professional. So, but shout out to everybody that's telling me to shut up about golf and talk Knicks.
So can we have this is probably the biggest must-win game of the season, but it could get scary for us because they have two players that could go off for 100 points each. I mean, that together could get 100 points. Actually, three players. They got Bertans, who we have trouble with, smooth big men. And they got those two beasts of a guard. So any team that could score 100 points on us is obviously a threat because we struggle to score 100.
And the race for the Wizards, is to 105. Teams are like, yo, if we get to 105, the Knicks can't beat you. If you get to 105, the Knicks can't beat you. Don't try to go point for point with them. Just put 105 on the board and they can't beat you, period. Like if you legit put up 105 in the third quarter, the game is over. That's just what it is. The Knicks can't score. We were on pace for like 112, right? 115, but it was the third quarter. The fourth quarter we only scored 13 points. We finished the game with 99 points. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them. It's one of them things teams know that. But now that Derrick Rose is in the building, and I wanted to say this. Just real quick. The thing I was saying about earning minutes, and I know it's taking a step back to the previous point. I was like 30 or 40 minutes ago. The thing about earning minutes is this. So D Rose, to me, earned more playing time in his first game. He didn't earn it on the practice floor. The point I was trying to get to is D Rose looked different than the other guards when he stepped on the floor. So he earned minutes straight away. Tom Thibodeau was like, yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy I've been wanting in here. Right? But at the same time, you've been going through this thing with Elfrid Payton for weeks. Right? Struggling. My man having terrible shooting games, 2 for 9, 2 for 13. The Toronto game, the guard wouldn't even go out to and contest his jumper. The guard just went to the paint to rebound on Elfrid Payton. And it was so
all season.
Yeah, and it was so disrespectful that Elfrid Payton had to shoot it. He had to shoot it, and he missed. You know what I'm saying? So now you wouldn't even consider making any type of adjustment, right? But you said, hey man, you have to earn these minutes to get playing time. You know what I'm saying? D Rose came in the door they probably only meant for him to play like sparse minutes, and that's why I'm conflicted about the statement that Thibodeau said, because Derrick Rose in his first game, in my opinion, earned more minutes and should have been in the game in the last few minutes of the game. Why'd you take him out to put that lineup in, and then we wind up struggling with offense when Derrick Rose looked like he could get a shot anytime he wanted to?
Could be chemistry. Those guys played together before, and and here's another thing that kind of brought me back to my high school years was I remember I transferred to another school, and they had a star player on the team, and beginning of the season, he didn't come to practice. And we busting up behind in practice, whatever, and he didn't come to practice. He was, he was out there, chilling. And it was like the coach gave him fair or treatment, and then that was like the dissolve of the team morale, because now you already see this is favoritism. Everybody in the media knows that Derrick Rose is his guy. So now you have to also think about the locker room, where it's like people are gonna be like, man, like we've been busting our behind for you, for the last 30 games, and you're gonna give this dude the final minutes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, as fans, we don't care. We don't care because we want to get the W. But the thing is that as a player standpoint, you have to be sensitive to the locker room, because these guys are buddy. One guy could fracture a whole locker room. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I just want to see where it goes. I don't see us making any other real moves. I mean, it's going to be so expensive. And what was most important is they not only said what Bradley Beal would cost, they said what Bradley Beal wants. And remember, this is a players' league. Players don't just get traded anymore unless they have buy-in. So I don't expect us to make any more moves. Honestly, if I had to make a prediction, I may be Derrick Rose, but we've lost too many games we should have won. So that doesn't allow me to improve our, I said coming into this season, if we don't win 32 games with a win now coach, and I think we were on pace to do that last year, would be a disappointment. I see us on pace to win about 32 games. I don't see us getting us in the playoffs. And I think if you go into that playing game, you don't lose your lottery status. I think you still only the 8 seeds up. So I think we're still
done.
Huh?
I don't think they're done making moves. I read that article in the Post that the Knicks are monitoring the situation with Bradley Beal and Oladipo. I believe that they're going to try to get like a third team or maybe a fourth team involved in a potential deal for either one of those. They wouldn't allow Frank or Knox in the trade for Derrick Rose, even though they're not even using them.
Right.
Tells me that they want to add maybe like a third team that probably would want to take on Frank or Knox's contract
for a veteran.
Yeah. Somebody, I believe so.
So let me do the super chat real quick. Rob Paul, thank you for the super chat. Shout out to the panel and the chat. Thanks for the content, fam. Hey, thank you. Thank y'all, man. We appreciate the chat,
Robert
man.
Parr is a good dude, man. He's a good dude. Salute to you, King.
Yeah, man. Hey, salute. Hey, so if we're gonna trade away the youth to get another veteran, it makes me think that we're on that path of turning this roster from a bunch of kids to a bunch of old dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that makes me wonder. That makes me wonder. And if Legion of Knicks podcast is in the chat, I want to get his opinion on this too. If that's the case, if the direction is vets, then what are we going to do with these 2 first-round picks that we have in the draft? Are we going to package them for a vet? If that is the case, this front office better win something. Because if we trade away those 2 picks and they turn out to be, and tell me if you heard this before, you trade away your first-round pick and another team uses it. The Chicago Bulls use it to draft LaMarcus Aldridge, who they then turn around and trade him to Portland. Or you trade away a pick to Chicago in another deal, and it turns out to be Joakim Noah, right? Or you turn around and trade a pick to the Utah Jazz, and it turns out to be Gordon Hayward. Yes, that was a New York Knicks pick. Or you trade away a first-round pick, and it turns out to be Jamal Murray. Yes, Jamal Murray. And you're going to ask me, well, what veteran did we get in return for all those picks that we traded away? Man, I can't even tell you. So what I'm saying is if the Knicks are going to trade away these picks for veterans, they better be some damn good veterans. Don't play. You know what I'm saying? Don't play like, the previous regime was a bunch of dummies. The previous regime at least kept draft picks and stockpiled and got cap space. Don't come in the door burning up cap space and trading away assets for veterans that's not even going to be here long term. If they come in with that approach, it better work.
I don't buy the Oladipo thing at all. He's a free agent, and Houston is. And they would have to probably wait right to the day of the deadline, and realize nobody offered him a first-round draft. I just can't see somebody giving up a first-round draft pick. That's definitely going to be a potential lottery for someone that they would have to sign long-term. And I don't think that negotiations. I don't know how the CBA works. I don't know if you can, once the season starts, if you can negotiate and get re-signed. So, and Oladipo is a player that I definitely would not trust. So I don't see the Knicks. They would have to be borderline crazy to give up a first-round draft pick for Oladipo. Only way we would get Oladipo that would make sense is if it was for another second-round draft pick to rent him the rest of the season.
No. I'm thinking that you have like a third team involved. Let's say like there's a third team that has that needs to get rid of a player, and they want to get back an expiring contract, which Oladipo would be.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you get like I'm thinking like, let's say Washington is like, hey, we don't know what to do with Bradley Beal. How are we gonna make this work? You throw a 3-team deal where you send Oladipo to Washington, because I think the contracts would help. Right. And then spread the wealth through the other couple of teams. That's what I'm thinking, because I think that Washington got to be over the cap. I know that they have to be paying a luxury tax because they gave that
Bertans.
Yeah, the bag.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they
must
gave
be
Bill
over
the bag
cap
last year. Yeah, they gave Bill the bag last year, and Westbrook got the bag 2 years before that, and they're all currently making the bag in Washington.
Right. So what they would want is cap relief and picks. So it's going to have to be a 3-team thing going on. I think that maybe Oladipo's contract is a lot more movable.
Yeah, and that's why I thought Bradley Beal was realistic for us. But I just don't think. Not only will they want the picks, I'm hearing some teams is offering picks and decent young players. So once I heard the decent young player part of it, then that's when I said, "Oh, they might be out of our price tag because what will we have left to play with?"
Yeah, man. I don't want to get into this bidding war for a guy scenario, right? I don't want to get into the arms race scenario because what it does is it creates the double edged pressure, right? It's like the dog chasing the car, right? The dog feels like his goal in life is to chase this car. But guess what, little doggy? What's going to happen when you get the car? What are you going to do with it? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do with it? Yeah. What are you going to do with
it? You could get hit chasing cars.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. That's the point to it. And so we get into a bidding war with Bradley Beal and say what happens if we win? We give up 4 first-round picks, right? Obi Toppin, Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson, 4 first-round picks to get Bradley Beal, right? Now that you have Bradley Beal, remember that song Heavy D that you found love? What are you gonna do with it? Yeah. Now that you have Beal, what are you gonna do with him? Right? Now that you have Bradley Beal, what are you gonna do with him? Your roster is stripped down. Your assets are basically gone. You have Bradley Beal, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett. Now, if you don't win a championship with that, it's all a waste of time and resources.
Yeah, but again, the Knicks have to get a third or maybe a fourth team involved, so they don't have to necessarily strip down the team. They could get rid of players that they're not even playing. Maybe get somebody else's draft picks. Like for example, let's say there's a team who are acutely interested in Knox and Frank, and their contracts are affordable. They could offer first round picks to I take that back because I don't think anybody would want to get rid of first round picks. What if they're late first round pick? What if they're late for 2025 or
how do you
2027?
Oh, that's
you can't go 5 years out.
Okay,
you can't go more than 5 years out.
Back. Okay, I'll take that back. I think a third team will have to be involved, but I think that if the Knicks don't have to give up much in a 14-team deal for Bradley Beal, I mean, I say do it. If you could be creative.
Everybody and their mother's trying to get into this draft. Even Dallas is talking about trading Tim Hardaway Jr. There's a lot of conversation about Tim Hardaway Jr. on the market because they want to get back. They can't believe they don't have a draft pick for next year, and they're dying to see what they could get for Tim Hardaway Jr. Somebody's potentially offering a first-round draft pick for him, so they can get back into. So we'll let you know that which is more evident to me that we won this draft. I'm almost guaranteed.
You won the trade. You won the trade.
That we won the trade. I'm sorry. I'm almost guaranteed in my mind, and I would put money up that once this is all said and done, we won this KP trade 10 times over. But I'll let time play itself out. Time heals all wounds. But Dallas is trying to trade TSJ to get back into next year's first round, specifically to get back into next year's first round. So I know any team that's looking to trade, they're looking for next year, knowing that the Knicks already have 2. I think teams are ticked off that the Knicks, where we are, have 2 first-round draft picks. I think right now that's our biggest asset. So I wouldn't mess with it. I wouldn't mess with it. And the only thing I'm disappointed in is of the last 5 games, Dallas has won 3 games by 2 points, and I'm just fearful that may be our legacy. Is we were just the team that almost. Remember that time Dallas went on that run to win 3 games by 2 points down the stretch, and they fell right outside the draft, and so the Knicks got 2 decent picks where they could have had almost 2 amazing picks. That's my fear.
Yeah.
Well, that's just. But it's a lottery. I mean, it's not based on any particular metric where it's like we're gonna have even before this system where they try to fix the tanking problems. I remember when there was teams that shot up in the draft and got high picks, and people were like, "Oh my goodness, the worst team didn't get it,"
Yeah.
So it's like there's nothing we could do to control it. I learned
No,
a long time.
what I was saying, CP, is that they're gonna win these games and make the
Yeah.
playoffs and won't be in the lottery. That pick is
Okay.
no
That
longer
would
in.
be the frustrating thing, right? Because you didn't move the pick when it was at its most valuable, for a veteran, and then at the same time, if you let the pick manifest and Dallas makes the playoffs, now the pick is slid all the way down the board, and you're less likely to be able to draft a superstar. So it puts us in the weird catch-22 situation. You know
I
what I'm
got
saying?
you.
So
I got
Danny
you.
Landis asked, what would I give up for Bill, or who would you trade those picks for? I would much rather have a small forward. I would much rather go after a small forward or a big that can shoot, right? So I would give up draft picks and Mitchell Robinson for Miles Turner from the Indiana Pacers, right? And the reason why I do that is because he's a better defender than Mitch right now. He's a better shot blocker than Mitch and Noel put together, and he can shoot the three, stretch the floor, and he stays relatively healthy, right? So I would give up a couple of firsts and Mitchell Robinson for Miles Turner, and he's young. He's young. So for the ones that say, I don't want to give up Mitch because Mitch is young and he's got potential. Miles Turner is young and has potential, but he is way more advanced too. Yo, hey, so Chop Low was in the building. What's good? Chop Low coming trolling. He said Alfred Payton can't shoot. So yeah. I think if you add a Derrick Rose and a Miles Turner, I think that automatically gets you to the playoffs.
I think we're in the playoffs now. But I don't think does it. Here's what I'm saying. We could go as high as 6 because we're in the East, and we'll be in the playoffs. But my thing is like, I don't want to give up any picks for anybody because like Freezy saying, like you don't know who that's going to be, and I think that go the conservative route. Will Miles Turner turn into a championship?
No, not by himself.
So I'm saying, like, how the Lakers, they gave up the 4th round pick to trade to no, I take it back. Wasn't Zion involved? No. Zion was the 1st round pick, but New Orleans also had their 4th, and they were able to package that 4th for
New Orleans.
AD. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So I'm saying, like, maybe in this scenario, let's say the smoke clears, we're in the draft, and we get a top 5 pick and maybe a top 10 pick because of Dallas or wherever we land, and we trade one of them for superstar and a player for the future.
I just think you've seen some Drew Holiday set the market. Once Drew Holiday went for 3 picks, there's just no team that's giving up anything. The market just went too high for us. And once we saw that, we just had to be realistic about trading for stars. I just don't see it happening.
No. The Drew thing happened because the Bucks messed up in that trade with the Kings. Bogdanovich, yeah, they messed that up, and they were in desperation mode to get that extension for Giannis. And
Regardless of why it happened, But go ahead.
No. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it set the market. What it means is that there was a team that was dumb enough to, it was desperation. It was a thirsty move because they
I
had
get it.
to.
I get it, CP, but that sets the market.
I don't believe it sets the market.
It's a bull market. It's a bear market. Once you make that move, the next teams are saying this is what we want, and now every team
Right.
behind it is desperate. I don't see. Go
I
ahead.
don't believe that. I believe that that's based off of what you are willing to give up. I mean, if you're not, it's like real estate. You know what I mean? If there's a house on the market that you could get at the asking price, but then you say, well, I'm going to just throw another $30,000 on top of it just to get it. But when you could have
I,
just got it at the asking price. You didn't
and
have to throw on the extra 30,000.
And so I do real estate accounting. I've done real estate accounting for a large part of my career. And I think your example just walked right into what I needed to say, because the real estate market, the house that last sold sets the market, is called comparables. So you're going to
Yes.
go around and see what comparable houses sold for.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
and if the value is 250 and somebody, because New Yorkers, I love New Yorkers as a North Jersey guy, because they come in, they want to get out of New York, especially after 9/11, and they have absolutely set the market in northern New Jersey to
Right.
record levels.
Right.
Me and my wife have sat in the same home, and every year New Yorkers move out and they're willing to pay 350, 400, 500,000 for a house that we bought for 275. We just walk up and make them we make them a big pan of sweet potatoes, kiss them on the cheek, and say, "Welcome to New Jersey."
I
Welcome to
got you.
New Jersey. But can it be
Yes.
and so because in a funny way, driving up my property value, what I'm saying, helps me financially. You know what I'm saying? So the
Right.
difference between my payoff price and the apparent value lets me know at any given time I can go get that equity and do something with it. You
Do
know
you
what I'm
know how
saying?
many? Do you know how many refinances I have gotten? My wife said, "Stop calling." We get calls from refinances every
Right.
6 months. A comparable gets sold because they
I'm
Right.
say,
trying to do
and,
that. I'm trying to
and
do
then
that
they
right
said,
now, actually,
and then they
because
said, "Are
I
you sure you don't want to sell?" Yep.
Right.
We said, "Oh, we'll be selling when it's time for us to go to Orlando. You want us
Right.
to sell to you, and then where are we going to find another great school system like this?
Right.
yeah,
Right.
You're going to give us
get
500,000,
but
but
get
where are
I
we
don't want
going?"
to divert off of the thing because I want to say this too, but the bubble does pop, and so if you are overvaluing, I remember my first house here in Georgia, I bought it at the top of the market.
Right.
The next year, the recession hit. I stood in that house.
That's
Stood in
unfortunate,
that
man.
house. Yeah. I foreclosed on that one, unfortunately. Um,
Mhm.
could try to short sell. Couldn't get anything for it. So I'm not saying you are wrong. You are correct on your analysis of housing, but there is a bubble that will burst, and you have to let's think about
CP,
thinking about the
y'all didn't try loss mitigation.
no
Y'all didn't try loss mitigation. Y'all should have had a
never
loss.
that's the first thing you saying that is the first thing I ever heard. But
And it
let me
depends
not
on
let
where
me
it depends on
let
where he
me
was in the market. But go.
yeah
Right.
let me
Right.
not forget my topic. Let me not forget what
Hey
I'm
man,
trying to
stay
say.
focused, CP. Stay focused.
Focus. Um, so the thing is that we're going into a draft that is going to be heavy laden, and it's a draft that everybody wants to be in. So that is a market that's more valuable than giving up on a potential, middle of the road uh,
Draft
player,
pick
unless
or
you,
player. Okay.
yeah. I'm talking about like a Drew
Kelly
Holiday.
Kelly Oubre.
I'm not giving up a first for Kelly Oubre unless it's a late first. I think a late first. If Dallas makes the playoffs and they're like the 17th pick, I'm giving up that pick.
So that's what, an off-season move? So you're saying an off-season move?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't disagree, and your analogy of the bubble bursting was a great comeback. Just the smart man that I thought you were. The problem
He's
is,
smart now. He's smart. You gotta watch him. You gotta watch him. He's smart now.
He's witty. He's witty.
Yeah.
He's witty. He's witty. It's all right. It's all good.
That's sometimes I just say touche.
Yeah, no, you know what, Uncle Freezy, but I'm not intimidated. I'm not intimidated. But I just don't think. I think that bubble might burst in the off season, maybe next season, because then I forgot about what Washington did, and I forget Washington sent the picks to get rid of John Wall for what's it called? They sent 2 first rounds. There's been a bunch of teams just throwing their first rounders out the window. So I just think that market is established for the rest of this season. And I honestly, I think the Knicks should stand pat. I really do. I think Tibbs has developed. Here's what I think is going on in New York culturally, and it could be a pretty wild take, but I don't know if Tibbs trusts anyone but Tibbs. I don't know how long he's known these guys. I heard they was their agents, but I think when it comes to basketball and touching that floor, I think Tibbs is cocky and confident enough, and there's a thin line between the two, right? Mo said that. I think that was said on here, but either way, I just heard somebody in the podcast say there's a thin line between cocky and confident. Right. And I think Tibbs, just having the job of president and coach, I think he only trusts himself. So I think Tibbs is trying to establish a baseline of basketball in which he says, this is what I need to win. This is how I'm going to win. And I think he's developed enough cachet from November to today to really determine the brand of basketball the Knicks are going to play.
Who is remember early in the year there was a trade. I think it was the Harden trade. And they asked Tibbs about it, and he talked about every front office you have to be aggressive in the draft, aggressive in free agency, and aggressive in trades. Right. And that stuck out to me because it seemed like he was setting like a subtle shot that, hey,
at the front office.
Yeah, let's be aggressive. Let's be aggressive.
Bingo.
Yeah, but the only thing with Thibodeau is this and his thinking. So for one, you have to be careful with this Knicks fan base. I mean, this Knicks organization, because it's not like any other organization. If you make a misstep in New York, it's going to be a compounded mistake. Because you always have to make a move to make up for the mistake that you made, as opposed to letting the mistake organically heal itself. You know what I'm saying? In New York, as soon as you make the misstep, 50 media outlets are going to be on you every day with microphones in your faces, and they won't let it die.
You know, right? Freezy, once I got you off that Derrick Rose didn't earn minutes, you've been getting nothing clapped from me over here.
That's because I'm Heavy D. We got nothing but love for each other. Hey, you remember the Heavy D reference earlier? Now that we found love, now here we go. Hey, we got nothing but love.
Nothing but love for you, huh?
Yeah. Right. And I'm so tired right now. I need some black coffee. If y'all remember black coffee. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. Yeah,
bro, that's all I drink, man.
Oh, you're on a roll. You're on a roll now. Keep going.
Yeah, man. I'm so tired, man. I'm whooped. I'm spent, man. I'm spent. I was gonna ask one of y'all to pilot the ship while I take a nap. I'm spent, man. I'm so tired. Hey, y'all got something else y'all want to touch on? Because if not, man, I was gonna just wrap up here. And go dive on the bed, man.
No, we had a great.
My phone is about to die, and so.
Yeah, no, we had a great morning, and you know me and CP. That's one thing I really like, and I do have one more take, but that's one thing I like because CP, when talking to him, you learn people's flow. Freezy, one thing about you yield to the panel. So if you see somebody is dying and burning, and you look into their eye. I always see you look into the screen. So you say, you know what? Let me let him go. Let me let him get it off.
I'll even just slide off the joint entirely and just even if I want to say something, I just.
So you think you got so you think you got me figured out, Ghetto?
So in talking to CP, if you let him get his point all the way out, he's not going to keep pontificating. In fact, he's going to tell you, that's all I got. I'm done.
Yeah.
I just need to get that out. That was it. So we're not going to sit here and talk extra just to see ourselves on screen. But I do want to end with this, Freezy. I want to tell the people of the Blanche Tears brand this. And I'm going to use one of the Freezy analogies. You know, Miss America, it's not only about winning the pageant, which is a tough competition. To become Miss America is a tough competition. You got to go through the process. You know, you got to go through the stages, and you become Miss America.
Right.
But it's not only about becoming Miss America. They hold you more accountable once you win. And that year you got the crown and the sash, you have to hold the responsibility and hold yourself accountable to the title. To my man Kevin W, who's the current Blonde Tears debate champ, a prestigious title. I ask you, sir, hold yourself accountable to the brand. Your take last night that Michael Porter Jr. would not start for the Knicks,
not play,
is basically an average player. Not play is basically an average player in the NBA. Look at him; he's only averaging 14 points and such rebounds, and what? You said he's strong. He can post up. I've never seen him post up before. Right. Kevin W, I love you. Represent us well. Stop it, King. Stop it, King.
He said, I want to jump on this thing with G.I. G.I., he said, not only will Michael Porter Jr. not start because he doesn't play defense, he said he wouldn't even play. He said Michael Porter Jr. would be a bust here. And so we try to remind him that he was the #1 high school player in high school, right? But anyway.
So I just wanted to end on that note. I didn't want to beat it to death, but I just remember Miss America is not only the pageant. When she's wearing that sash and because he's so proud. So yeah, young man. He said to Eric, it's a hard challenge to the top, And Eric destroyed. I mean, Eric is smooth. Eric is humble. He's everything you want your kid to be. You know what I mean? You want your talented kid to be.
Yeah.
And Kevin W sitting there, because one day you'll make it up the ranks. And Eric's just goating them in. And then he comes out with a take that, Michael Porter Jr., he's just an okay player. He ain't Kevin Knox.
Right. Would you draft, and here's the thing, if Michael Porter Jr. was still on the board at 9, would you still draft Kevin Knox? Of course. Yes, I would. Come on, dog. Now you lying. Now you lying.
Hindsight is always 2020.
Right. No doubt.
But thank you for your time on your platform, Freezy. CP the artist. Let me tell you something. You're a guy I would grab. Oh, one more. We probably were together a lot from 1987 to 1989. Every Saturday night, CP the artist. You could not get us out of the Amboy Theater. When they opened that joint, man, let me tell you something. And it was right off the Parkway, so it was convenient. We would spend right off.
Razzmatazz across the street.
Yeah.
And
we had so many fights down there. We probably fought before, CP the artist, but we just
I'll be honest with you. I never fought at I never fought in those theaters. But we probably played in Newark or something like that. Because I played.
And there was a Mayor Bonds down there.
He got locked up.
Yeah, he got locked up. He used to hold
tournaments.
He used to hold tournaments. He used to sim for us all the time. Wally Dixon, the main event from N1. That's the Rucker Park. That's how I used to get playing Rucker. I played a lot of time in Rucker Park because of my first cousin. We came down there. He would call for us all the time. So we won their per fanboy league. And let me tell you something. It used to be tough getting out of it. Them boys used to want to kill us leaving that when we left with there. Yeah, per fanboy is tough. There's a lot of my Latinos are there now. My Latino brothers are there now.
I told the story the last time I was on.
I heard you from Long
We had a fight. Yeah, dude brought out a blade. Like was like, yo, like.
Yeah,
that's what made me think about it. So us Jersey guys, we better get off here because we are the New York Knicks. Our New Yorkers, boy, they don't like us to have too much fun in Jersey.
No.
They mad that we took their pizza title too, man.
Whoa. Oh yeah, the pizza title was a must. We should have already had the title for years.
But it's the imports of my Italianos into New Jersey that help, right? They got that money out of Brooklyn. Was like, let's go to Jersey, let's leave Staten Island.
It was the import of the rats into the pizza slices that lost them the title.
What is this other protein? What is this other protein? Yo, all right, man. Let me get out of here, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get some rest. Thanks for everybody stopping through video chat, virtual chat. Y'all subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button for the live stream, turn on your notifications, join the virtual chat, join the video chat, share on social medias. Make sure that y'all share this product, which is super dope. We do it just for y'all. I'll holler at y'all tonight. Peace. Peace, peace, peace.